What's good, LL? Let's get it jumping. Lucky Lefty podcast. Of course, Left, he'll be coming soon. We're brought to you by Onora Whisky, OnoraWhisky.com, a premium American whiskey at OnoraWhisky.com. Lots to talk about today. I'm going to talk about Notre Dame being put in a position as the underdog right now. As the underdog. They are usually the target, the prime date on everyone's schedule on an annual basis. They're starting to feel like the underdog. And I think that started with the hiring of Marcus Freeman. I think we're going to jump into that on multiple layers. Then we're going to talk about Notre Dame going up facing Drake May and this talented North Carolina offense under Phil Longo's extremely quarterback friendly system at North Carolina. Should be an incredible matchup. We'll give you some stats as to what makes North Carolina so good offensively, which is funny because this is like the exact opposite defensively, as they struggle mightily. They struggle mightily defensively. So we'll get into some stats and some breakdown with that as well. And then I think we're going to talk about the landscape of college football. The question of the day: has Georgia overtaken Alabama as the number one program? Might be a little bit too early to say that. You might need to see more. But that's the question of the day. Has Alabama been overtaken by Georgia as the number one program? You know, some of you might feel like you need multiple championships from Georgia, but this Georgia train, because honestly, they gave away, just flat out gave a championship to Alabama that they had well within their grasp. So it's kind of crazy, man. It's kind of crazy, but yet interesting. Brought to you by Nora Whiskey once again. Get left in here in a few seconds. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you missed yesterday's show, when we had a fantastic conversation about the young players and who should be playing, and what young players still should be held away or held off and allowed to develop for the future. So it was a great conversation yesterday, very honest conversation. Before we get started, I want to say this. Something funny happened. You know, bro, we're very open. We communicate after the show with people that comment, when they don't get to watch the show live. They watch it over again. They leave comments and ask questions. They hit us up in the inbox on Twitter, Instagram, and we appreciate everybody for following us. That's a part of the 2,800 army that is LL Nation right now, getting ready to march on to 29. But someone sent me this, bro, and the preface of it is very interesting. And I purposely did not tell you because I wanted to kind of surprise you with it. Let me find it, dude.
I wonder what this one is.
This is I want to find it, bro, because I wanted to bring it up on the screen, but I thought I kept it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So this comes from Norm's iPad. Norm's iPad on Twitter. He's a Buckeyes fan. And he started off by saying, he hits me in my inbox, right? He hits me in my inbox on Twitter, not yours. He hits me in my inbox. This is what he says. I think Malik is a clown, but I do know he was offered by Ohio State and Urban Meyer was very interested, contrary to what Zach Smith is saying. He can use these quotes if he'd like. I'm sending them to you because his DMs are closed.
How are my DMs closed? Number one, but is he for or against me? I don't know which way he's going with
He
this.
started off, dude, his first sentence was, I think Malik is a clown.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that like how? What is this about? What are the quotes? What is this going on?
So he sends me the screenshot of this article. I don't know. I can't credit the publication because it's from, I'm sorry, it's from the Athletic. It's actually from the Athletic. It says, then Ohio State's offensive coordinator, Herman, got to talking about this kid named JT Barrett, an early enrolled freshman who, at the time, was seemingly only the option the Buckeyes settled on after things went south in their pursuit of in-state quarterbacks Mitch Trubisky and Malik Zaire.
I was never lying. I told you.
Let me continue. I'd like to take credit, but I got to give credit to Tom Herman on that, Meyer said, of getting Barrett in the 2013 class. It was bizarre. You had Mitch Trubisky, you had Malik Zaire in state here that we were very, very interested in. And I mean, I was just here a couple of weeks and then we started going and let's get them down here and meet them, get them in camp. And all of a sudden, I'm not going to come to camp. I'm going to commit somewhere else. I was just shocked by the entire scenario. That's Urban Meyer himself. So my response to him is, yo, why are you sending me this though? And he's like, well, I just thought he could use it for help. And I said, well, he already spoke on it. He didn't need help.
Yeah, I mean, it was true. I didn't need to even really speak on it. I wasn't lying.
And
Y'all
I'm
just
going,
like it's like fans' favorite thing is, oh, they didn't want you, so you hating. But like, what about the guy that they did want? Is he hating because he's just speaking his opinion? I mean, come on, what are you talking about? That's why I don't even respond about State fans because it's like after y'all waited until after y'all was in the clear to start mentioning me back, it's a wrap for the whole fan base. It's like I couldn't find an Ohio State fan during that 7-point game y'all had. But once the fourth quarter was over, oh, y'all want to start tweeting me and jumping in my inboxes and tweeting all my friends. It's like y'all corny. I put a tweet up there yesterday talking about how we gained a lot of viewership playing a Pac-12 team, being our schools in the Midwest that we pull in viewers wherever we go. And I'm just saying that outside of the Midwest, people don't tune in to Ohio State because they don't care. In the Midwest, you have a strong viewership. Outside of the Midwest, they're not getting the numbers we're getting. And that was my whole point. I'm not saying people don't watch our games, but I know this. I know people outside of the Midwest ain't interested in watching Ohio State Toledo. And that's cool. But everywhere we go, we're bringing the viewers as an independent. As an independent. Come on. So whatever.
Lucky Lefty podcast. So we're going to get to Notre Dame being an underdog, but man, let me tell you something. And I'm gonna say this once, man. I'm a fan, bro. And I think sometimes people, use that in connection with fanatic to kind of free themselves to do what they want to do as a fan. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't give a darn who Emmy Adoka slept with, dog. I don't care. I don't care. No one cares. And I'm like, why are we talking about this, bro? Especially in the NBA, bro, you're in Los Angeles. That's where they all come in the off season. Just go to LA. You're going to see tons of cheating. And I'm not just talking about players. I'm talking about execs, owners,
Oh, man.
everybody. Like,
Yeah.
man, look, relax, man. Relax. And that leads me into Notre Dame. Because I think as a fan, emotionally, in the present, it's okay to react to what you see, to react to what you see. But man, sometimes you got to relax. Like I have people hitting me up, you know, talking about Drew Pine isn't going to throw for more than 100 yards against North Carolina. And I'm like, see, that's that.
See, why
Like,
y'all?
like, relax, man. like, like,
Oh,
let's let's keep it a buck. I had a guy that watched the show yesterday and hit me up on Twitter and said I was being protective of you, bro. I was being protective of you, and I just don't want to admit that you were a mid quarterback. And I said, okay. So, man, as fans, enjoy the sport.
enjoy the sport, man.
Enjoy the sport. I see somebody talking about Elijah Page. We're talking about Elijah Page, dog. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. If Elijah Page flips to USC, so what? If CJ Carr flips, then we'll talk.
Yeah.
Jaden Greathouse flips, we'll talk.
Yeah.
I don't care about Elijah Page, dude. I don't. I don't. He's supposed to be a tackle. Guess what? Emil Wagner is the next star tackle. He's being redshirted. I don't care.
Yeah,
If
we
he
don't.
wants to go to USC, let him go. He's an Arizona kid. Fine. Bounce. It's like, I think this is what I'm saying. Like these guys like that, I don't care. Like
No.
Notre Dame needs Keon Keeley, we can talk about.
We can talk
Peyton
about.
Bola,
We did. We
we can
did. We
talk
talked
about.
about. Yeah, we talked about Peyton.
Yeah, man, dude. Like an offensive lineman, we can go find an offensive line.
Yeah,
I
we're we're
promise you.
we're we're really expert in finding the right guy on that side of the.
We can find an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
It's like man, my emotions now, man. Oh man, lucky podcast. Let's get to it. When Marcus Freeman became the head coach, not only did they enter a new era in Notre Dame football, but I believe based upon the national response, kind of showed that Notre Dame was getting a little bit more love than used to. You saw college players from other programs wishing that their program was as aggressive as Notre Dame was in their hiring of a younger coach. And in my sense, after the first 3 weeks, I think Notre Dame has kind of been cast to the side and forgotten about. And based upon where they are, this might be a good thing for Notre Dame. It just might be. It might be a good thing to be forgotten about, to be able to sit in the background, develop players, change the culture, do what you have to do in recruiting to set the new standard, set the new tone, and then move on. To do it while still winning 10 games, sneaking into a college football playoff when you truly are not a legit contender, honestly might not have been beneficial. Some people might push back, but you're not fooling anybody. But to take a step back, reassess things, and understand what's truly needed, which goes to my Elijah Page. I'm not saying Elijah Page is not a good player. That's not what I'm saying. Right? I'm not saying offensive line play is not important. Not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is that it's Elijah Page.
Yeah,
He's 6'7", 304 pounds from Phoenix, Arizona. Notre Dame basically came and stole him from USC
basically.
because he wanted to go to USC. It's been known. He fell in love with Harry Heason. They recruited him hard. He committed on June 3rd. He's a
How you
four-star.
club?
Now, this is the thing. USC wasn't even pushing for this dude like that. They weren't. And so if he wants to watch Notre Dame come to the Coliseum in November and dominate a suspect offensive line that's yet to be challenged, and he wants to flip before that, then go right ahead. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. But if you want to go to the NFL and be developed by one of the best, you know what to do.
You know what to do.
But closing this gap is not going to be because of the likes of Elijah Page. No disrespect.
Yeah, no.
It's not. So I don't know.
It's not making too big a splash from what the class has. If he was the only 4-star recruit, maybe.
I
But
mean, he's a four-star recruit. He's a big boy. I will say that.
yeah, he's huge. But in
You know.
terms of importance to what we're trying to get to in the next year and a half or 2 years, you know.
So, I don't know. Michael Beebe said, "Can you find us a right tackle for this week?" Man, is our right tackle hurt? Did I miss something? Is Blake Fisher hurt? He must. Maybe he meant right guard
Yeah.
or center. Because the least of our worries on the offensive line is the right tackle.
Yeah.
The least. I need my fifth year left guard not to have procedural penalties. You know what I'm saying?
Fifth year guy.
Man, that's what I need. But I think this underdog thing that's kind of coming over Notre Dame, I think it's a really good thing, Left. I really do.
I don't think we'll get the underdog sympathy, only because we're truly still more talented than most teams we're playing, except the quarterback position. The quarterback position is the underdog, not the team. The quarterback position is the underdog. We're going into week after week after week having a worse quarterback room. That's the underdog. Because if you think about it, I'm taking all of my players on defense versus UNC's defense. I'm taking all of my players on offense except the quarterback on over UNC's offense. So what's the underdog aspect? It's the guy at the position that's throwing the ball around. I'm taking my coach over UNC's coach. Even though I
I
like
mean, come on. I might push back on that a little bit.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
for today,
yeah. My
for
boy
today,
Mac,
I
I
like
actually like
background.
Mac Brown a
Yeah, I
lot.
like
I'll push
background a
back
lot.
on that. My man has a national championship.
Yeah, I like
I mean,
background a lot. Okay, never mind. But the quarterback position is the underdog for us. That's what gives the whole team a feel like we're underdog. So outside of the coach and the quarterback, what's the underdog to us versus North Carolina? Nothing. North Carolina is like, man, we have to really play. We have to really go in there and put a game plan together because it's a really good team we're going against. Drake, you got to play better than you played the last 3 weeks.
definitely that.
So it's like they're going through more pressure than we are. We're just like, man, can we put together a drive and score? We're not asking questions about the defense or questions about, I mean, we ask questions about the defense, but we're not hair on fire, what's going on? Everything is collapsing. It's like, man, the quarterback position is not strong enough for us to dominate these games that we know we can win, not going in being the odds favorite where we're expected to win these games going in. So the quarterback position is under the underdog on the team, and it's showing week to week.
The reason I like it, bro, you talk trash because of how successful Notre Dame has been recently. I get real petty when it comes to Notre Dame, bro. I'm like, dude, this really isn't one of our best teams. And if y'all let us run this table and win 9, 10 games, or get to that Clemson game with 2 losses, I'm talking trash to every team we beat on the way. Like, y'all stink.
But
Like,
we know this though. That's what I think, though.
this is indeed underdog. Underdog used to be a cartoon, bro. I don't know if it's before your time or not.
Is that
Maybe
the
you
one?
thought,
He had the cape on.
yeah, 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 yeah. His girl Polly that he would always say, and he was one of the man. He was one of the coolest dudes. He was one of the coolest dudes because he was so unassuming. And it's a dog, right?
Yeah.
So, the fact that they tried to make this female dog look so attractive and sexy on a cartoon was just funny to me. Like, come on, her name is Polly. Like, for real? Like, what are we doing?
What are we
But the
doing?
sentiment of it, of this save the world against him mentality, kind of fits Notre Dame. It really does. Even when Notre Dame is good, there's an underdog mentality, right? Because people are still upset about the independence and people are still upset that we were able to. I was watching the 30 for 30 uh, about Randy Moss. And Randy Moss was like, boy, I wanted to put that gold helmet on, boy. They were on NBC every week. Like, that's who Notre Dame is, man. And I still think there is an everyone against Notre Dame mentality that makes Notre Dame the ultimate underdog. Even though they win the vast majority of their games and have a top 5 football program, in my opinion, at this point, Notre Dame truly is an underdog and has been cast into that character this season for sure. Absolutely for sure. So now you go to North Carolina. Before the season, we were expecting this to be, we were about to kill North Carolina, dude. Like, we're about to walk into Chapel Hill. Beautiful campus, by the way. If you've never been to Chapel Hill, bro, it flat out one of the most beautiful campuses in America.
Amazing.
Walk into Chapel Hill, smack them around, get back to South Bend. Like, but now North Carolina really feels like they got a shot. Heck, the bye week feels like he has a shot against Notre Dame. Like when you see bye on the schedule, bye feels like he has a shot. It's like everybody feels like they have UNLV is horrible. They probably feel much better about the game against Notre Dame. BYU, after getting smacked around by Oregon, still feels
I mean, smacked around by Oregon.
smacked around. So even more, this underdog role is perfect. It's something for this team to progress and grow into. And hopefully, the hope, once again, is that time, by the time we get to November, Notre Dame has worked themselves into being somewhat dangerous to teams like Clemson and USC in November. They've progressed, they've gotten better, they've eliminated the silly things, the fundamental mistakes, the penalties, and now they're playing really good complementary football. And I think we're going to see that starting Saturday in Chapel Hill. But I think now this team is probably not playing with a pressure, with less pressure than any other Notre Dame team probably has in the last 5 years.
Yeah, this is the most. This is the team with the least amount of pressure in a while. Like you said, I think a lot of it is because how hard it feels like that Marshall loss was a drop off of the program, and with us having a long season ahead, just the early projections doesn't feel like this is a season similar to years before.
Mm,
So, with the expectations, at least on the fan base, being understanding that we're on our third string guy, I mean, how much do we expect out of Drew Pine? He's not an Ian Book. He's not a Tyler Buckner. He's not a Jack Cohn. So, I think the good thing is we'll really see if Tommy can coach these games.
yeah.
Unlike the Texases and the Alabamas of the world, where you can call damn near anything and your quarterback's gonna make it right. That last play, Alabama versus Texas, where Bryce got out of that sack,
Mm-hmm.
that's because he's a dude. You don't have to be perfect when you got a dude. Because that play was dead in the water.
Mm-hmm.
That play against Drew Pine, sack, fumble, turnover, something crazy on ESPN, whatever. So Tommy's gonna have to execute in moments like those for the rest of the season because he's got to coach to what he recruited. You recruited that.
Yeah.
Turn that into the Gatorade Player of the Year in Connecticut because that's on you. But we all know the ceiling of Drew Pine. So coaching is going to be at a premium on the offensive side of football. I hope Marcus Freeman is paying attention to that because this can be your resume year. Because you're going to have to go to teams and be like, man, I did this without a generational quarterback like most top college football programs. I did it with Jack Cohn last year. It's a tougher challenge this year because I got younger receivers and stuff. But maybe this will allow Marcus Freeman to be able to make better, not better, to make decisions or have the ability to make decisions on offense and what happens on the offense by the end of the season. Because it can't get much worse.
Lucky Ducky podcast. Let's see. We are not Marshall. Drake May is the same age as Buckner and is light years ahead of him in terms of development. They're actually same class. Someone asked me this the other day on IB. Um, I want to say Tyler Buckner was ranked ninth, and Drake May was ranked 11th. And someone asked, who would I have recruited out of high school? And senior year was that COVID year. So, that's tough evaluation. You're really only dealing with limited film senior year, junior year. But just the prototype, size, arm from watching film, I probably would have taken Drake May.
I mean,
Knowing me.
you're not a football coach and making the obvious pick. It's a
Unless
it's a
unless I saw something on film that made me feel like Tyler was just special. Like if I saw like Lamar Jackson special running ability, then I'm
okay,
like, okay,
okay,
right,
okay.
yeah,
But no,
yeah,
it's nothing like that. If you watch his tape, it's a bunch of running around, him running a couple kids over that are clearly smaller than him. His running style hasn't changed since high school, except you going against bigger dudes. That's not taking that all game.
right,
You may get one or two off, but what happened? That fourth quarter rolled around. Them boys is like, you still running hard? Okay, I got something for you. I got so you're not trying to win the game. You still trying to play, Aldrich Estime stunt double.
yeah. That's like back in the day. I remember this vividly as a kid, like back in the day, being outside, and then you had, the OGs out front, and they'd be like, "Shorty, is that the same car that just came by here a couple minutes ago?" Like, yeah, I think so. Like, if that car came by one more time, it was a problem. Like, you gonna keep coming. We letting you slide, but you
Yeah.
gonna keep coming. Okay, we got you. Yeah, like if you're not special, that's not something you want to do as a quarterback. But you have to put that onus on the game plan that did not allow the guys that you recruited to run the rock to do so. And Chris Tyree and Aldrich Estime and take him out of that danger and put him in a place where he's playing a different type of game, a more secure game where you're not putting everything on his back.
And
So
this is
I
yeah, and this is exactly what we talked about too in terms of before the season when we were going through recruitment on why these is it even you in dangerous territory when it comes to what you putting out there week to week. It's early in the season and you getting O lineman thinking about decommitting because of what you putting out there.
yeah,
What are we talking about? So this is not good retention for recruitment or guys on the team now. What is Jaden Thomas thinking? Jaden Thomas probably watched our podcast all off season. He's like, man, they must know something about me doing something this year as a third receiver.
yeah,
If I'm him, I'm thinking, man, maybe I need to open my options up because what do we have in the stable? A guy that can't stay healthy, and when he does, he's trying to have the most carries on the team.
yeah,
His backup, a third stringer guy from Connecticut. Am I at Notre Dame or am I at a community college or a JUCO or something? Where's and we putting up 7 points a game, 14 points a game. I'm getting in 5 or 6 plays, getting no targets. Freshmen can't even get in. So it's like in a world that we living in today with the transfer portal, you in dangerous territory because football is just like all the other great sports.
yeah,
It's a what have you done for me lately business. It's a result based business, and with the all the things you can do now, being able to just jump ship and transfer and all the poaching and stuff, you messing up a lot. You putting Chancey's room in danger on the hot seat. Them kids thinking of, them kids still thinking about themselves now. You ain't just
Yeah.
get them in the stable and just got them locked up. They can, in
Yeah.
college football, they just saw North Carolina put up 69.
Right.
They just saw Georgia's receiver go from Georgia and won national championship and go to Alabama. They watching. So they're not afraid to leave Notre Dame. As before it was like you get past that sophomore year, you like, damn, I can't leave. I'm trying to graduate.
Yeah, you definitely want that degree. Like, man, if I stayed this long, I'm leaving here with that degree.
I'm leaving with
Facts.
something, you know.
Facts.
But now you can leave as soon as you get there.
Yeah.
So, it's not spelling out great for what the scoring total is looking like each game. It's not spelling out great for what's in that quarterback room. So you can't really blame the receivers, but at the same time, even with the new guys that's coming in, if CJ doesn't decide to come, or if CJ is slow to get started, Jordan Greathouse and Braylon James and those guys are great receivers that was wanted by other places. So you think the mother schools ain't calling him right now and be like, look, you want to go to that? I mean, come on, Tommy.
Yeah, and that's to be
I know you
expected.
come on.
David Jones, thank you for tapping in. Drew Pine has to have some kind of talent, or Bama wouldn't have offered him a scholarship. Okay, let's just break him down. I have the spreadsheet of the offers. Notre Dame has offered like 150 kids, dude, in 2024. Man, that's a little exaggeration. About 30% of those kids are actually takes. Like Alabama probably offered 10 quarterbacks in that class. He might have been ninth or 10th on the list. Like, I don't care who you offer, you have to evaluate. And so, since you said that Drew Pine has to have some kind of talent, give me the talent.
Because he had a bunch of numbers, but that's not talent.
You said talent.
A bunch of numbers is not talent. Winning a state championship and going for all these yards in Connecticut don't mean you got talent. It means you got numbers.
Either he's super smart, can read defenses,
Yeah, all
run
that.
an offense.
All this
We,
stuff that doesn't apply to a
we
college.
heard about him being a great leader. His arm is he's not arm talent is not no.
What
Scrambling.
is he doing
No.
better than the top quarterbacks winning championships for Notre Dame? We don't want quarterbacks with some talent. We're Notre Dame. We want the best quarterback.
But see, that's the point, because people will bring up Stetson Bennett when they talk Drew Pine. If you put Drew Pine on Georgia, wait a minute, you put Drew Pine on Georgia, I'm pretty sure he can win 10, 11 games for
Yeah.
Georgia, surrounded by that talent. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. That's not the model at Notre Dame. You're
No.
never getting that. You're not getting that in this modern era. You're just not. So you need the top-notch quarterback that can elevate, make others around him better. And if you're not going to be doing that, then what are we talking about? And this is the greatest time to go ahead and kind of do that as the underdog. Like, people don't see us coming. Let's go snatch this dude. Let's go
Like,
grab this dude.
like any of these quarterbacks at these top schools, where are they pulling quarterbacks from? When's the last time that any of these quarterbacks came from Rhode Island that played at Alabama? That played. When's the last time a quarterback from Massachusetts? Or where we be getting our quarterbacks from?
Quarterbacks usually quarterbacks come from
when's the last time Bama played a quarterback from La Jolla?
the miss. They
Yeah, you
usually
laugh
come
at that.
from
You laugh at that.
Pennsylvania, Texas, California, Midwest,
When's the last time
Ohio specifically. I
played a
mean, that's just historical.
quarterback from from anywhere that you like. You have to be like, man, that's we had a quarter. I love this quarterback, Nolan Henry, that played for us. He was a walk-on quarterback at in the room. Great dude. Won the Wendy's Heisman.
Yeah.
And guess where he was from? Small town somewhere in Oregon.
Yeah.
Where are we recruiting guys? Like we have to go to the crevices of the United States to recruit our quarterbacks. Why? There's so many quarterbacks in Texas and Ohio and Florida and California. We go to the states that other schools aren't thinking of. Maybe for good reason.
And to be honest, it's one or two, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Either you have to be a smart OC with a fantastic system that pretty much any quarterback can step into and be successful, or you have to go get you a dude at quarterback and know how to build a successful offense around him and his talents. Which leads us to Phil Longo, the offensive coordinator at North Carolina. Because it seems like no matter what quarterback he puts in his system, they flourish. So Phil Longo has a better resume when it comes to developing quarterbacks than Tommy does at this point. If I'm not mistaken, he was up for in the running for the job when Tommy eventually got it, if I'm not mistaken.
Crazy. But, I do think that CJ Carr should be the turn because Marcus Freeman is going after the best recruits in each position.
Yeah.
So with CJ Carr being a nice grab, seeing that he's one of the top quarterbacks in the class, that's a good start. But after what, 2016, in the recruitment of Ian Book, we stopped recruiting in the major quarterback hotbeds. We start going all outside. Like we went on, it's like the coaches went on vacation to these nice vacation spots and then started recruiting quarterbacks. Went to the nice cabins in Oregon and got Nolan Henry. Went to the nice Martha's Vineyard in Connecticut or whatever and found Drew Pine. It wasn't on no serious recruitment trip down in where you need to be at because it showed. I mean, come on, man. We gotta play. We gotta do better. But all of that meaning, the best part about the rest of this season is we're gonna have to get better because we're gonna have to. If we don't want our to affect our recruitment, we're going to have to show better offense, regardless of the wins. At this point, we got to put up at least 30 points a game. That's what I want to see as a recruit. I don't want to see a season of less than 24 points scored on offense, even if we do win. Because I don't want to go to a school like that knowing that I'm not going to get the ball, knowing that. So that's the expectation. That's why I said when Tommy gets in there, it's about top scoring offense, and your quarterback has got to be a first, second round guy.
Go get him. And hopefully CJ Carr is the start of that. From a recruiting standpoint, Bryce J. Underwood hopefully ends up being a 25 quarterback to lead their recruiting class. But yeah, that definitely has to change. That definitely has to change. Let's talk about North Carolina a little bit left. Look, Drake May, starting quarterback, Phil Longo, 26 years with this system. He's been a coach for 32 years, been OC at Carolina, quarterback coach since 2018. System is quarterback friendly, wide receiver friendly as well. Like young wide receivers can come in and immediately, catch hold of this system, which is amazing. All of a sudden, a simple system like we have, and our best freshman wide receiver can't be trusted to get on the field, right?
It's college football. What do we like? Unless he just a complete, which I don't think, a complete nincompoop or something. It's college football. It cannot be that tough. The school, yes, the school is tough. But this is football. This ain't no master class. Plus, why'd you recruit him if you can't trust him? That's like dating a girl, then telling her, "Well, I can't trust you, so you know I have to stalk you all the time." Whatever. Why'd you recruit him if you just openly in the media saying you can't trust him as a freshman? What do you when are you supposed to trust him? When he's old and ready to go to the league? That's not even like you can't even. I was surprised you said that nowadays because you tell a kid that now they leaving. You know what I mean? They gonna be like, "Oh, word? Oh, okay. Well, Utah said I can play today because they trust me." Like what? So it's like, man, like can we get right and you know lock in offense?
Let's get to it. UNC averages 49 points per game. Let's be honest. The resistance has been little to none when you talk about Florida A&M, App State, and Georgia State defensively. That ranks them as fifth in the country. On the flip side, they're giving up 44.5 points a game to the same trio of teams that I would not deem the best offenses in the nation. Georgia State, App State, and Florida A&M, who they faced in a storm at home, minus 20 players. I just want to throw that out there.
But you
Now,
got to
this
think,
is,
what do all those teams have in common? They get the ball on the outside.
yes, and I will say that. I
They
will
don't
say
waste
that.
no
They
time
spread you
trying
out and get the ball outside.
and what happens when you get the ball outside? Them secondary players can't tackle, don't want to tackle, and are small. That's the game. We're trying to run these complicated blocking schemes with the biggest freaks of nature sitting in the middle of the field, in the middle of the defense, with big ass Aldrich estimate trying to run through the. It's like throw the ball on the outside, and we don't do that. Them little scrappy teams, they do that because they like, man, our O lineman is 6'1", 180
Right.
across the board.
Facts.
So our way to win is we got these fast 5'6" receivers. They good football players, they just tiny. And if you give them a swing route or throw them something quick, and they can make a guy miss, and we can live like that. And then our quarterback just no fear. He gonna throw it up, throw it out here, throw it this way. He gonna throw some picks.
Man.
But we're gonna have
Yeah.
points though. We're gonna have some he's taking chances.
Yo,
And
let
it's,
me tell
you
you
know,
something, bro.
I like that style of play.
This is the funny thing right here. Their defense is worse than Cal's defense, bro. And that's wait a minute. And Cal's defense is like straight vanilla, not doing too much, not moving too much. Teams run the ball. This is unheard of. The first three opponents against North Carolina have run the ball 60% of the time left. 60. Wait a minute. I'm not done. They are giving up 261 yards on the ground per game to Florida A&M, Georgia State, and App State. 261 left. There is no reason why Chris Tyree and Audrey Estimate both shouldn't have a hundo. Easy. Both of them. Easy. Like, what are we doing? That's why I say this. If you thought Cal was the perfect foe to keep this thing going, North Carolina is man.
So this is the Tyler Buckner game to take off then.
Man.
Tyler Buckner would have had 250, 3 tubs, about
You're
80
right.
yards.
You're right.
Aldrich would have had a solid day, 10 carries, 105. So who knows?
Dude, when teams run the ball 60% of the time against you, That's kind of disrespectful to your front seven. Like, it's no need for us to even throw the ball. None. Now, Drake May, to say the least, is going to face probably the best pass rush and the young freshman left tackle he has. He's going to face a pass rush and group together that they haven't seen from a competitive standpoint. This is definitely a step up for North Carolina this week. And it's probably going to take them a first half to maybe adjust to facing better players.
Yeah, like better competition.
Yeah. Like, this isn't Georgia State, dude. Like, you're not just going to be able, teams like that, you make the play, you put it on the chalkboard, and it goes exactly the way it's designed. That's the way North Carolina's been playing the first 3 weeks. It's not going like that this week.
Drake May's gonna get challenged for sure. So
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
cutting that point total in half right now. So they had 44. I'm saying they not getting more than 22.
Man, look, I will come out early because I know they're going to put 9 in the box and they're going to be fired up at home, running crazy. I would throw screen passes early on
Man,
to
Drew
take
was nervous
advantage.
at home, man.
Would
At
say,
home. Drew was nervous at home.
dude, if he
First
can't
half,
complete, hey, if he
we
can't
can't
complete a screen pass, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Small steps, like same game plan. And if you can't complete the passes that you missed early last week, I don't know what to tell you. But definitely, as you say, run the damn ball, man.
run the ball, man.
Run the ball. 261 a game. Run the ball. Have a field day. Chris Tyree should break one this week.
We should raise the average now.
Oh, facts.
Because
Facts.
he should have yards.
Anything under 6 yards, anything under 6 yards would be not good. Absolutely not good. Want to get into the secondary. They do have some young, talented defensive backs. They have some talented defensive backs, dude. And against the pass, they're only giving up 39% completion. I mean, no, I'm sorry, 68% completion.
Oh, shit. Jupon be shooting fish in the barrel out there.
Yeah. But wait a minute. They're giving up 68% completion, and teams only throwing the ball 39% of the time left. That's the thing.
Okay. So
Like,
they high percentage on completion when you throw it against them, just because it's like something super open.
right. And they're not, that's the point. They're not being targeted as much as other teams. But even when they're targeted, it's almost 70% completion. So Michael Mayer should have a big day. Lorenzo Styles should have. Notre Dame should put up 500 yards of offense this week.
I don't see us getting 35 or more points though.
Now, yardage and points, totally different thing.
Right, I think we'll get a lot of yards.
That comes down to execution. Heck, we've been in on the other side of the field 6 to 7 times per game.
I think we get right under 35. Right under that. It'd be like 35-24 or something. But I don't think we're a high scoring team in general. So even versus the worst defense, we just not built to be running no score up or even doing that kind of thing. I don't believe. Not this year.
Yeah. Let's get to a couple of these things. We have a couple of comments left, but right now I'm going to turn it over to Left to get his 3 keys to victory for Saturday as the Fighting Irish travel to Chapel Hill to face off against Mac Brown's North Carolina Tar Heels. Malik's 3 keys to victory.
Run the football.
Run the
Run the football. Third key, we got to get a turnover on defense. Let's get some more turnovers. Drake May is going to give you opportunities. Let those young secondaries cash in. Maybe even, some sack fumbles, Fauski. I mean, it's a game now. Drake May is going to be there in the league one day. You need to make some good plays. So run the ball, and please get some turnovers on defense.
I thought you were gonna say run the football, run the damn football, run the goddamn. Those are my three keys to victory.
I had to try to make it at least kind of even, put some responsibility on the defense, but offense definitely 100%.
Yo,
Don't go out there starting slow, thinking Drew Pine's going to trick him and dick him or something. No, no, no.
yo,
7-2-25.
bearded Irishman. That's a nice Abbey too. I like that. Nice beard. I'm trying to fill mine in, dude. That bad fella just has a few patches left. I gotta go through
He's
the ugly phase. Yo, Shaun and Left, what's your take on the zero turnovers through 3 games? Is it fundamentals or lack of want to?
I mean, listen, we're an aggressive team, so we're trying to force the other team to put the ball in harm's way. And on the back end, like we've seen from the Ohio State and Marshall game, we just got to close the gap a little bit more. Maybe take a few more chances. Uh, but I think that you'll start to see it the more we able to set in into our defensive schemes and stuff. You'll see more opportunities. But the first 3 games, it looks like we're a tick late on hitting those areas in which we're trying to force the ball to, so we can make a play. I.e., JD Bertrand. I feel like if he was a little faster, it wouldn't have been something unnecessary like that. So I do think that we'll start to see more, but we're adjusting to a lot this year.
Indeed, indeed. Shout out to Johnny S. Malik is too young to remember Sweet Polly purebred. Shout out. Chris Warka. Thank you, my man. Speed of lightning, roar of thunder. Underdog, baby. That's right. Michael Campbell, appreciate you. I'm not buying this young guy narrative. How are you going to get older players in CFB? Tommy Reese and Marcus Freeman have to feed the receivers. If they are not getting the ball, it's Tommy's calls. That's not true. That's not true. How many missed opportunities on big plays have we seen, Malik?
A lot. The one before half against
That's
Marshall,
not true.
the one before half against Marshall was wide open for a touchdown. They fell asleep. We caught them. Great play call. Dropped the hell out of him. Or no, overthrew it. Wasn't it overthrew it or something like that?
Dude, I need to insert the Tommy GIF right now.
Do your damn job.
Stop blaming the coaches. The players need to do their damn job. Do your damn job, man. Do your job. It's not a young guy narrative. The guys that can do the job need to play.
We got an old guy at quarterback being nervous. That he got to do his job. Not a young
Dude.
guy. The old guy was nervous.
And this whole young guy narrative, like, dude, if you're mad about Tobias not getting ticked, I get it. They got 2 freshmen playing heavy minutes in the defensive secondary. Like,
Right.
stop. Stop saying they won't play young players. They literally played 2 freshmen against CJ Stroud in Ohio State from the jump.
That they trust.
From the jump.
They said I trust them.
Yes.
And I think playing
Obviously,
defense,
they don't
I think
trust,
playing I think being a DB that's a freshman is harder to trust than a freshman receiver.
especially out the gate going up against CJ
Out the
Stroud.
gate. Yeah. Out the gate, you trusting true freshman DBs, and you can't trust an out the gate freshman receiver to run a go route?
Man,
What does, like, let's be serious. What is he not understanding or that you can't trust him on at
man,
receiver in general though?
dude, I
What
have no
what
clue.
route is he not that he
I have
can't be
no
trusted?
clue.
He can't be trusted on a slant. He can't be trusted on a go route, a hitch, a screen, a dig route. I mean, what kind of plays you calling, Tommy, that you can't trust a freshman to run a simple route? Maybe the offense is too complicated. I mean, I don't understand. It's too complicated for a freshman to run a simple route. Then, then something's going on.
I don't know, man. And I said it yesterday, like during our conversation, our open conversation we had about the young guys yesterday. Dude, the linebackers are not ready. Stop asking for them. I don't care how bad you feel like the linebacker play is. Junior, he's ready. He's been playing. Prince Collie was injured at the end of fall camp. He's just getting back to 100%. Marcus Freeman said when he feels better, he'll be playing. It's as simple as that, man. There's really nothing else to it. And I think going back to what we said at the start of the show, like as fans, sometimes we can hype things up because of the moment. We get caught up in the moment and we hype up who needs to play because this guy isn't getting the job done instead of focusing on the fact that this guy just needs to do some simple things better. We're not even asking these guys to be superstars or go above and beyond their talent. We're just asking you to line up correctly, go to the right gap. We're not even asking you to be Jalen Smith, Manti Te'o, Tavon Coney, Niles Morgan, Drew Tranquil, because they don't exist right now in the linebacker room. All we're asking you to do, know the play, line up correctly, and tackle. Tackle the man with the ball. That's it. That's it. And if we can just get that, that's it. If we can get that, Brian, that's it. That's an entirely different conversation, my man. I look, cool kid as always. Discipline starts with coaching. Absolutely. But the product is about the person. I don't want to hear that. My dad is not responsible for my bad decisions in college because I was taught well. I was taught to be disciplined. And the dumb decisions I made when I was in college had zero to do with my dad. So I don't buy that. These kids get coached up all week. When they walk out on the field, a fifth-year senior, that's your team captain, getting a false start after a timeout has zero to do with coaching. Zero. Absolutely zero to do with coaching. Zero. That's what's wrong. That's a societal problem, too. Everybody wants to play victim and point back to what somebody did. Or my father did this, or my father did that. You make the decision who you want to be in life, man. You make the decision that you choose. It's too much blaming and pointing fingers and not enough accountability. Barrett Patterson needs to be better. Josh Love needs to be better. I'm tired of fans pointing to Harry Heastan and pointing to Al Washington. Did Al Washington become a good defensive line coach last week? Because he took a beating from the fan base the first 2 weeks. 27 pressures, 6 sacks. Is he a good defensive line coach this week now? Is he now a good coach? Come on, man. Draw the line. Draw the line. You know, the first tip you'll see that the freshman linebackers are ready to go when you start seeing them consistently in special teams and special teams coverage. That's going to transition to them being on the field. And right now, you don't even get to see them on special teams. You just don't. You just don't. And Brian J, my guy, got to, have to, have to. Like, we get ridiculous. Everybody is in this, society now is just point the finger, this is the reason why I can't do this. This is the reason why I made that decision. You made that decision because that's what you wanted to do. That's what you wanted to do. That's what you wanted to do. Flat out. Isaiah Foskey wanted to show up last week. He had a chip on his shoulder because he knew he didn't play well in the first two games. But the same credit, have the same energy for Al Washington that you had for him in the first 2 weeks. The same credit and energy goes to him when things go right. Period. The same energy you had for Harry Heastan the first 2 weeks, make sure you give him the same energy for what the offensive line did last week. The exact same energy. Period. Jacob Lacey. Did you see Jacob Lacey do a spin move like that last year? Who added that to his repertoire? Where did he get that from? Was it Al Washington that helped him with that counter move that he's never shown in Notre Dame? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? These players showed up. The leadership of Notre Dame showed up. The leadership you needed in the fourth quarter against Ohio State, they showed up. The leadership you needed in the fourth quarter against Marshall, they showed up. If they show up tomorrow or Saturday in Chapel Hill, Notre Dame will win the game. It's as simple as that. Lucky Lefty Podcast. You back, Left?
Yeah, I'm back. Just in between. But look, you're absolutely right. If they show up, we win. As simple as that. Jacob Lacey, like you said, developed. I mean, I thought he should have been starting for a second. Some of the moves he was pulling off, especially on the replay, special. So we have the talent. We got to just put it together. But if we show up, I'm telling you, it's going to be the games we expected Marshall and Ohio State to be.
So I want to go to this right here because it's so important. You know what time it is.
Petticoat, petticoat, petticoat junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's pettiest story? Petty Junction.
Petty Junction, pettiest stories of the day, brought to you by Onora Whisky, OnoraWhisky.com, that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhisky.com. Bro, fandom is one of the themes of today. And I meant to bring this up the other day, but today is a perfect time. I just want to point this out, man. This is one of the pettiest fans of all time. Sunday night after the Packers-Bears game.
Look at him. Just stupid.
Like, why they running on the field this till time?
Is you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Is you crying?
Don't leave me alone. You know I'm watching the game. No, I'm not crying.
I told you they was finna lose. I don't know why you acting like this.
Why is you talking about my business? Why is you talking about my business?
But they down bad with 10 points.
They cheated, though. They cheated. We would have won. They cheated.
You not hot with all that stuff on?
Yeah. Hey, man, why you coming at you? I told you, don't. When they lose, don't talk to me for the rest of the week. Why is you bothering me? Dang.
Whoa, what about the wristbands? You act like they finna throw you in the game to save the last couple of points for you.
Would you leave me alone?
You don't even cry for me like this.
I only know you for 2 months. This has been my team for 22 years. Yeah. Win, lose, or draw. This one I'm at. Get out. I don't even want you here.
What?
Get out. Because
I know you.
Get out.
They need to recruit you if it's this serious.
Get out, for real. I'm on the team. I'm with the team. Get out. Come on. I don't know. Come on.
All right. Okay.
I'm with the team. That's how close it is. I'm with the team. Yes, wristbands and all. She talking about you hot. I know you hot.
My man said, I've been with you 2 months. This been my team for 22 years. Like, yo, look, man, fans, sometimes we can take it too far, man. Sometimes we can take it too far. We can take it too far sometimes, man. That right there. Also, Mr. Mike Gesicki, I think you tweeted out a couple of weeks ago, we need to retire the gritty. Your boy Mike Gesicki this Sunday, bro.
What a catch! Ooh, 14-yard snap.
Bro,
And this is the death of the gritty, right?
What a catch! 14-yard snap.
Right there, died right on that day. Died. Done. What is that?
bro.
He was skiing or running or skipping. What he was doing too much.
The dude was skiing in the end zone, acting like he was doing the gritty.
Doing that on a marching man or something.
Oh, dude. Bro.
No longer
Damn.
cool. No longer
Damn.
cool.
My man.
We had to
Dude,
cancel.
look, man. You know what the worst part is, man? That man watched the entire game. Do you know what the temperature was in Chicago Sunday?
What was it?
It was 90 degrees, bro.
Oh my goodness. With
This
hat.
man was in his house, suited and boot, with a Letterman's jacket and a hat.
Because it get cold in the windy city, man. It get cold
Bro.
out there.
Fam, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
As we go out, bro, we said we were going to discuss whether or not Georgia has become the best program and a more talented program than Alabama in college football. I'm a dude. I didn't think there was a way that they could be better defensively.
They're better defensively for sure.
That's insane, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Good players. Good grief.
and for those of you that still want to have the Michael Mayer, Brock Bowers debate, when you run reverses and jet sweeps with Michael Mayer, let me know.
Let me know.
Let me know.
Brock Bowers got all type of things going on over there.
Let me know.
That's how
Let
you
me know. You want to put that on Tommy Reese? Fine. All I know, the stuff I'm seeing from Brock Bowers,
I can't tell if he receiver, tight end, running back. He do it all.
Man.
That's how you use your best player for sure.
That's woo.
Take notes, man. Take notes.
Take notes. Lucky Lefty Podcast. We thank you for your support. Subscribe. Hit that like button. Let everybody know. Lucky Lefty Podcast. We spin it different. Man, we talked the youngsters. We talked Notre Dame being the underdog in this season and why it's a good thing. We talked about Drake May, the Carolina Tar Heels, and issues they will bring to the table against Notre Dame this weekend. Great show, Left.
Yes, sir.
Great show as always. So everybody have a great Thursday. For the Culture Friday tomorrow, man, you know what it is. Get ready for the link to be in the chat. You guys can join the show and ask us about anything.
Anything.
Anything. And hey, man, let that cat Ime Udoka breathe today, man. Let that man breathe.
Yeah, let him breathe.
Let that man breathe. He already has that woman at his neck. Let that man breathe, man. Let him breathe because it's tough at home. It's gonna be a tough few weeks for that brother, man.
Tough few weeks, man.
Yeah.
Basketball is the least of his worries.
Man.
The Celtics did him a favor giving him some time off, man.
Facts. Man, have a great Thursday. Make sure more than anything that you spend it different. Peace out.